Hey, what's going on, guys? It's week 8 of the TPL, and this is probably the most anticipated matchup for me, at least, because I'm playing against my good buddy Artisan Cane, who was the one who actually invited me to this league. And when we saw the schedule posted, and we saw that we were going to play week 8, we were both super excited about that, and we're just like been joking around with each other, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm already prepping for you, week 1." But yeah, like we were both really excited about this matchup because both know that like we'll play really hard and prep really hard, and it literally went down to like the last second, which is good because we both have big threats on each of our teams, and I did. That's the one thing I didn't want. I didn't want to sweep them. I mean, obviously you try to do your best, but like. Yeah, I didn't want to sweep him, and luckily he didn't sweep me either. I did prepare really, really hard for this matchup. Um, so yeah, it literally went down to the last minute, and it was a lot of fun. It still could have gone either way, and yeah. So right here, um, I'm looking for my team. For some weird reason, it just dumped out all my Pokemon. So I had to go in and register my Pokemon. Unfortunately, um, the system doesn't like when I nickname Mamoswine Milf Hunter, so I have to keep changing his name so I can use him online. But everybody else is fine. Got the full shiny team here for him, and yeah, I'm super excited about this. So the plan here is to lead Gyarados. That's how I prepped. I prepped to lead Gyarados. He's going to be my Scarfer. He outspeeds everything on his team, and he's got a good utility because I don't have really that many answers to Dracovic. Dracovic could easily sweep my team. So I actually put priority on basically everybody, because if his Fisher's Rend, its power is only doubled when it moves first. So depending on the set that he brings, I should be able to always go for first with priority, or just straight up outspeed him with the Scarf Gyarados. The other thing too about Gyarados being scarfed is that if he decides to put up webs, if I scarf anybody else, then that kind of gets balanced out with the webs. But with Gyarados being a flying type, the webs are unaffected, or he's unaffected by the webs. All right, so here he leads off Piloswine, which is fine with me. Actually, misplay here. I taunt him, but as you see, he's oblivious. I tried to intimidate him, and he's immune to the intimidate. And then I throw out a taunt, not thinking. I literally just used oblivious Mamoswine last week, so I should know this. But I just really wanted to prevent those rocks. So that's why I went with the taunt. But here he withdraws. I'm not sure why. In the matchup, I was happy with that. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just taunt this thing. But he's like, I don't think he would have saw that coming, and it kind of hides the fact that I'm scarfed, because he would have known I was scarfed if he led with Rabombi. But yeah, he should have just stayed in and put up Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks were huge against my team. I didn't put boots on anybody. I just figured my way to counteract the rocks was to taunt the Piloswine, but obviously that didn't work out because Oblivious nullifies the taunt, which I knew, but not during the prep. So that was my bad. So yeah, now he's forced to withdraw his Rabombi, and I went in with Scorch, and now we're basically back to Piloswine. And here, I thought about staying in and just hitting him, but then I thought, well, I don't want him to Stone Edge me and then lose my Scorch for nothing. So I went with Pangoro to scout out that Stone Edge or Rock type move. I think Rock Slide would have done just as much damage and it's more accurate. But Pangoro will take any hit, and he just does put up the rocks, which unfortunately is not good for me because now Centiskorch is going to be at half when it decides to finally come in, and Gyarados is going to take some chip. But luckily, even with that, Centiskorch is able to do something. I did calc that. I looked it up and I saw, you know what? Even if he does get the rocks up, it's not the end of the world. It just means that Centiskorch is a little bit more limited than it was before, right? Because you can only switch in once on those rocks because you faint the second time. So here, let's see, what did I do? I think I put up, I went with Swords Dance just to put some offensive pressure because I figured he would switch out Piloswine, and he switches in Rabombi. So actually here, it's not really a misplay. Like, this is fine on me, but I should have thought about maybe going for an attack because then if the Rabombi came in, I would have broke the sash, and then I believe Bullet Punch might have knocked it out. No, I don't think so. Actually, I think I remember calculating this, and I would have to do, no matter what, double Bullet Punch or a Swords Dance and the Bullet Punch. But yeah, like I said, I prepped really hard for this, so the fact that I know that I needed the Swords Dance anyways, because Bullet Punch, is base 40, so it's not that strong. It's just there for the priority. Bullet Punch does 78 to 91, so I would have needed a Bullet Punch twice, which would have, it would have prevented this Tailwind, which actually caught me off guard. I didn't think he would go for that. I thought he would have Moon Blasted. But maybe he predicted a switch out there. So that's one thing when we play with each other, sometimes we overthink it, but it wasn't a bad trade-off. Now he's got his Tailwind up, so whoever wants to come in here is going to be faster, like guaranteed pretty much. But what he doesn't know is my Pangoro is actually min speed, so I'm always going to click Bullet Punch. But here, I remember I wanted the Bullet Punch, but, at this point, it's too early in the matchup to just go for Chip and lose Pangoro for almost nothing. So, with Gyarados still at full, I figured, you know what, let me switch out and try to neuter this Dracovic. And yeah, here he just Fisher's Wren, and that did a huge chunk. So I'm still not sure which fish variant he was, because he 2-hit KOs me there, and I was going for the Thunder Wave to just neuter it, and I'm scarfed, so I'm not sure what else I could have done there. So here I switched into Grimmsnarl Slaric just to further neuter his Dracovic. And he decides to just switch out, probably figuring that I'd put up the Reflect up first. And then here I just go for the Light Screen. And the reason for that is because if I want the Centiskorch to come in here, I need it to I need the light screen up for it to at least live 2 hits. Because with Stealth Rocks up, that really neutered me. But, you know, we'll still play around it. Yeah, he just goes for the Sludge Bomb. Gets the poison, which isn't that big of a deal. And then we find out that he's Life Orb. So that was good for our team. So yeah, bringing Centiskorch, which is AV'd up, max HP, max special defense. So it will sponge up some attacks. And he goes for the Boom Burst to damage anything that wanted to come in. But yeah, like I said, Centiskorch here. We'll eat that. Here, I think I kind of misplayed. I should have Flare Blitz. I mean, the recoil would have been bad. I think we both would have dropped. I mean, I guess it's not really a misplay. Thought about Leech Lifing so I can, you know, live one more hit. But, yeah, I really couldn't decide what to go for here. I know I couldn't go for Knockoff because I want him to die to that Life Orb recoil. I just decided to go for Fire Lash. But, I mean, honestly, yeah, Flare Blitz would have been better because we both would have died. I would have died to recoil. He would have died to the damage. And then we would have started from square one. Then here I decided to go with my Diggersby, Judd. And what I decided to do is go for the U-turn because if I quick attack and he switches in Gengar, then he just got Gengar in for free. But U-turning at least will do some damage and keep the momentum up. But then he decides to stay in. And I knew I outsped. Another good thing about it was that he still doesn't know if I'm Scarfed or Banded by going for that. So here I decided to go with Pangoro because it invites in the Dracovic, which I really wanted to chip away at. And it keeps Gengar and Scrafty in the back. And with the Reflect still being up, Pangoro would live at least one attack. Alright, so here I figured that I could at least live one Drain Punch, at least behind the Reflect, and then recover back up just enough, I think, to live a second one. So yeah, that Reflect is coming in real clutch. And like I said, putting out Pangoro meant that his Dracovic was invited in. Yeah, I just double check. Okay, I got one more turn of Reflect. So I can Drain Punch one more time. Here he Switches out. I'm not sure if he thought I was switching out. Um, but he puts in Scrafty, which, you know, with my ability, I won't be intimidated. And then I just recover back all the health I just lost. Another thing he could have done here was to just stall out the screens, right? So he probably looked up too to see how many turns of the reflector is still up. And then he switches out with the eject button, which was kind of strange to me. So that basically made Scrafty useless. He's just a sack at this point. So yeah, Pangoro almost dropped, and he's coming in pretty clutch for me. Alright, and now we get Piloswine. So I'm not sure what Piloswine could have done here. So I'll just go for the Drain Punch to see how much he does to me, and then recover it back. But it turns out I'm actually faster than him, so that means his Piloswine was min speed. And then Light Screen wears out. So yeah, just go for another Drain Punch, try to recover back as much as I can. And he knew he was gonna lose Piloswine here, so he just Ice Shards me for a little bit of damage. So there's Pangoro with 2 kills, I think. Yeah, because Toxtricity died to Digger Speed. Alright, and here we are again with the Drakovich. So at this point, I decided that that I need as much chip on this thing as possible. I think this is where I started calculating to see how much Diggersby and Mamoswine did to it with their priority moves. And then I saw, yep, I need this chip. And then we managed to hang on. Oh, that was close. That's without the reflect too. And I'm max HP, max defense, max attack. And he takes us down. But we got the chip that we needed. So here I go with Judd. But looking back at it now, I should have gone Slaric first, because Slaric would have guaranteed screens. I remember as soon as I clicked on Judd, I was like, dang, I needed those screens, because then Dragovich is basically useless. Instead of going for the quick attack, because the quick attack put me at risk of his Gengar coming in for free. But that's what we went with. I mean, here quick attack would have been, I think, either guaranteed or pretty close to knocking out his Drakovich, which would have made my life a lot better. And here he switches into Scrafty. So I got really lucky. I like sighed of relief when Scrafty came in instead of Gengar. But I guess at that point he didn't know if I was Scarfed or Banded, and I could have gone for Earthquake just as easily as I could have gone for any other move. So I forget that that threat is still there, that, you know, he doesn't know my moveset. Alright, but then here he does get his Gengar in for free. So then I think, okay, Now it's time to put up the screens. So if he nasty plots, then the screens at least kind of put it back to normal. But if he goes for an attack, then he didn't get to nasty plot up. And this was actually really good information. Got to find out that he has max overgrowth. So I didn't know what move Gengar gets that he gets grass move. But I knew that he was basically going for game at this point. I knew my best chance was probably Mamoswine. It could live. Hopefully one at Dynamaxed. Let's see here, we're going down to the last 2 minutes. So yeah, plan is to Dynamax and get rid of this Gengar. Hopefully live. I know I can't outspeed it. But yeah, here we just barely hang on. Just by the seam of our pants, basically. And then this Earthquake Okos. And unfortunately, the timer does come into play here. We've got, less than a minute, and all these animations are going on. It's just, it does ruin the experience a little bit, because I know in past generations the timer was not an issue. But yeah, here, just quickly put out an attack. I know it's going down to Fish's Rend. I actually wish I wasn't Dynamax there, because then I could have gone for the Ice Shard and for sure guaranteed the victory. But here, swap in Judd, and then the time expires. So this is where I'm just like kind of upset, because like he could have won. Like, I'm banded and he doesn't know this, but that quick attack, even banded, was still a roll. Like, he guaranteed Oko's Diggersby with the Fish's Rend, even if he goes second. So yeah, that's how it ends. Really dramatic and epic, down to literally the last second. Like I said, it was a good matchup where we were just trading blow for blow, trying to figure out what we're doing on what we're doing against each other. But you guys just let me know if y'all like this, where I just edit it post game and explain my thought processes during the actual matchup, because recording during the match is kind of difficult for me. I don't really talk as much when I'm playing, but I feel like I talk and explain a lot better when I edit the video afterwards. But it does take a little bit of time on me to do it. But yeah, y'all let me know. I think this is going to be the way I upload my videos. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in week 9.